Hello, welcome to a Pro Ledger online instructional video on the Auto Editor. With Auto Editor, you can process batches of imported data from online bank accounts and any online account really. And it's a huge time saver because not only can you import data from an online account, maybe dozens or hundreds of entries, but then to process those entries, rather than doing them manually one at a time, you can use the auto editor with scripts to just simply do it for you. And this really automates your work very quickly. So let's take a look at the feature and dive right in. Okay, we're in the program now, and we've got the import screen in front of us with the imported data. Now, before we continue, you may want to watch the import video on how to import this data in the first place. So just backing it up, what we're doing basically is going to Tools, we're choosing Import, and then I've uploaded the CSV file, and in the previous video on importing, you'll see how this is done. So now I'm in the situation where I've got the data imported from my online bank account, but now I need to classify and categorize each one of the entries and perhaps apply a tax to certain entries that are business related. So how do we do this quickly and easily? Well, one way to do it is simply to manually update each entry by double-clicking on it, choosing the class and category and whatever tax applies one at a time. And so we can certainly do that, but there's another way to do it, and that's with Auto Edit. And let's go there and take a look at it. Now I'm just going to start from scratch here. So let me just get rid of what's in here now and start from scratch. Okay, so in Auto Edit, we can create a script, for example, that'll recognize entries and then process them for you. So let's start with the description field. If the description field in our data contains or equals, and we'll just say contains so that even a partial match would work. And let's say, for example, we're going to look for any entries that have the word McDonald's in it. So if there's an entry with the description field with McDonald's, then we're going to classify that as personal, and we're going to categorize that as, let's say, meals and entertainment. All right, so pretty simple example. And so let's save that. And then, we can see that this is checked off. So when we choose apply, anything that's checked, it'll execute that script. So if you don't want that script, if you do not want that script to be executed, just uncheck it and then choose apply. But anyway, let's apply this script. And when you go back here, you can see that we've got two valid entries now. So that means we found a couple of McDonald's entries. And there you go. You can see one of them right here. It's found the word McDonald's in the description field. It's applied the personal and meals and entertainment class and category. And that entry is done. So in this example, we could just go next. And we could say, yeah, let's import this into our bookkeeping program. And there they are. Here's the two entries that we just finished processing, and they're all done. Let's go back and do some more. Give you another example. Let's say, for example, anything to do with, let's say, let's go with Shell, okay, like a gas bill from Shell. So the word Shell shows up there. So I'm going to create a script. Description contains the word Shell. It doesn't have to be capitalized, doesn't make any difference. Let's categorize that as a business expense. And let's also say that this is automotive gas and oil. And let's give it a tax, say true. So it's going to apply the default tax percentage that we got in your setup screen. So anyway, so anytime we see the word Shell, we want the program to classify it as a expense for business and gas and oil category, and we're saying, yeah, there's tax on that. So let's just choose save. And now we're going to apply that script. And there you go. You see it applied that script nicely from Shell. It found one. And again, if you want, we can go next and just send it to the bookkeeping program because we're finished processing it. Or we could just simply continue processing as we go. Anyway, that's really all there's to it. You just simply create scripts, and you can see there's a couple of options up top. You can say description contains and the total is greater than or less than, then do the following. So it's a fairly dynamic script, or for something on a certain date, or and you can choose the X to remove that if you want to have a two-dimensional if statement, but you can add as many thens as you have room for here. And that's really all there's to it. So as you can imagine, these scripts get saved every time you make one. If you want to delete or edit it, you can do that here. But once you've created your scripts for that particular account, next time you go and import data from that account, you don't have to recreate the scripts anymore. They're simply there for you. You apply them, and as you can imagine, eventually you'll probably have dozens or even 100 different scripts, and you can simply import your entry, apply the scripts, and within seconds you could have dozens or even hundreds of bookkeeping entries processed within a matter of seconds. So I think you're really going to love this once it's set up and running for you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in.